Hello and welcome to PrEP, Podcast and Radio English Program, a podcast and radio series for Yemeni learners of English, brought to you by Amideast, Yemen. The aim of this series is to provide Yemeni learners of English with more exposure to and practice with English. So, now, let's meet your teachers for today's lessons.
Hello and welcome to the Amideast podcast, the show that explores the fascinating world of the English language. I'm your host, Muhammad, and today's episode 24 is on transportation. We hope by the end of the episode you will be able to talk about transportation using statements and questions. Joining me is Teacher Hussein.
Hello, Muhammad.
Welcome, Teacher Hussein. It's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too.
Okay, listeners, before we start, I would like to ask Teacher Hussein some questions.
You can tell me what these sentences are.
Okay, I will give you the first sentence. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
Okay, every large or difficult task can be broken down into smaller, manageable steps.
Okay, I can understand it now. One moral. You can't steer a parked car.
Of course. That implies that progress and change can only happen when you are moving forward.
Just that?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Teacher Hussein, for explaining this sentence for me.
Okay, you're welcome. Can you give me some time to go and come back to you again?
Okay.
I'm so sorry for being late. It's traffic again.
So, what happened this time?
It's these drivers who drives very fast and cause accidents.
I hope no one was hurt.
Well, the driver in front had a problem with his car and had to stop suddenly without signaling the cars behind him. In a second, 6 cars bumped into each other. The worst part was that one of the cars was thrown into the sea.
Oh no. Did anyone try to save the driver?
I wish it was just the driver. It was his wife and 2 children. All the traffic had to come to a standstill so that the family could be pulled out of the car. Luckily, no one was hurt.
Okay, Teacher Hussein. What do you think should be done to stop these accidents?
I think when driving inside towns or cities, the speed should not exceed 80 miles per hour. We also need traffic lights to organize the traffic. By the way, there should be fixed bus stops. Stopping suddenly in the middle of the roads has caused many accidents.
I fully agree with you. Another important thing is the children under 18 should not be allowed to drive.
Okay, Muhammad. Now let us take a short break talking about the issue of traffic and transportation problems. What are some of the things you notice about the public transportation in your city?
Let me think. Air pollution, parking issues, high transportation costs, and cleanliness.
Okay, that's great ideas.
Okay.
That's great ideas about some of that problems.
Okay, teacher. Do you know any solution for this problems?
Of course. First, the air pollution. It means the dirty air from cars. As a solution, we can use cars that do not make the air dirty, like electricity cars. For the parking issues, we have to build more parking lots and garages so there is not enough space for cars. For the high transportation costs, or we have to make it cheaper for people to use buses and trains and to try to stop the expenses of using buses and trains. And for the cleanliness, let me just ask you about the solutions of that problem.
Teacher, I often see trash and litter on buses and taxis. It is not very pleasant.
That's true. What do you think could be done to keep public transportation clean?
Okay, let me think. Maybe there could be more frequent cleaning and trash collection on buses and taxis.
Yes, regular cleaning and having designated trash bins could definitely help. Keeping public transportation clean is important for comfort and health of passengers. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. And now, dear listeners, I'll ask you some questions about what you have already heard. Question number 1. Is the air dirty from cars? Are there not enough places to park? Can we make it cheaper to use buses and trains? How can we make it cheaper to use buses and trains? Thank you very much.
Now, listeners, let us listen to two people talking about the different types of transportation.
Good morning. I am Mark from France.
Good morning, I'm Ahmed from Yemen.
Nice to meet you, Ahmed. Ahmed, I am doing research on transportation and I'm interested to know what types of transportation do you have in Yemen?
Well, we have buses, taxis, bicycles, motor bicycles, and carts that are pulled by animals or motorcycles.
Are there any trains, subways, or hybrids?
Oh, no trains, but tell me, what are subways and hybrids?
Subways are underground railway systems that take people from one place to another, and hybrids are cars that can use electricity and gasoline.
I wish we had both subways and hybrids. Subways would stop the traffic jam in our main streets, and hybrids would save the money I spend on the petrol, which is very expensive here.
But didn't you tell me that there are many power cuts? Where will you get the electricity?
Yes, very true. I missed that. Anyway, I will keep my minibus, which uses gasoline only.
Teacher Hussein, in the conversation, there are two types of questions. Are there any trains, subways, or hybrids? And what are subways and hybrids?
Yes, of course. These are two types of questions. Question number 1. Are there any trains, subways, or hybrids? And this type of question is called yes-no questions. This type of question can be answered with yes or no. They are used to ask for confirmation or to get a simple answer. The structure of yes-no questions is typically like this: auxiliary verb plus subject plus main verb plus additional information. For example, do you like ice cream? Are you going to the store? Is she coming to the party? Can you swim? In these examples, the question words are do, are, is, and can, and they are followed by the auxiliary verb, then the subject, then the main verb, and finally an additional information. According to the second part of the question that you said, what are subways and hybrids? In this type of question, they start with words like who, what, where, when, why, and how. They are used to ask for specific information. The structure of WH is typically question word plus auxiliary verb plus subject plus main verb plus additional information. For example, why do you live? When are you coming home? Why did you go to the store? Who is coming to the party? In these examples, the question words are where, when, why, and who, and they are followed by the auxiliary verb, then the subject, then the main verb, and finally any additional information.
Thank you for your explanation.
You are welcome.
Welcome back, listeners. In this segment, we will discuss traffic science and transportation problems to improve vocabulary.
Okay, Muhammad, can you tell me what are some traffic signs mean?
Yes, do you mean the red light when all drivers have to stop before proceeding?
Yes, that's one of them. Actually, the three important traffic signs are: red means stop, yellow means you must slow down, and green means you can keep driving.
Thank you, teacher. But also, sometimes we have traffic signs as shapes.
We have three important shapes. These are necessary, which means you must follow like the round shape signs which are in red. Then we have cautionary signs which tell you be careful, the road in front of you. These are in red triangles. And the last are the informative signs. They direct you to the way and give you more information about the road in front of you and are in blue rectangles.
And what are the zebra lines?
Zebra lines are the safe places where people can cross the road. The drivers stop at the zebra lines to allow the people to cross the road.
Okay, that information will help me a lot when I start learning how to drive. Thank you, teacher.
You are welcome.
Well, that concludes today's episode of the Amideast podcast. Thank you all for tuning in, and we hope you found this discussion on transportation informative and engaging. Join us next time for another exciting topic. Until then, this is Muhammad signing off from the Amideast podcast. Stay safe on the roads. Goodbye.